has offered you a ticket out. Win Arena Wars, win your freedom. 7 arenas with 7 of the most vicious killers the world has seen in the last decade. You make it out alive, you get to go home.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2024 science fiction action film Arena Wars. The film is co-written and directed by Brandon Slagle and it stars John Wells, Kevin Hager, Eric Roberts and Michael Madsen. Right, okay, the film is set in the future. I think it's something like 2045. And prisoners are allowed to compete on a game show called Arena Wars. The idea is there's 7 rooms, I think, and each room they will face a homicidal killer, basically, with different weapons. And if they make it through to the end of these rooms, they will win their freedom. Sound familiar? Well, I don't know how, but, you know. And we have a character called Luke Bender, who is a convicted prisoner, but is actually innocent, who gets sent into the Arena Wars to spice it up a bit, because it's getting a bit boring, clearly. People are a bit fed up seeing people getting hacked to pieces. We have got the presenters of the Arena Wars, one of them being Michael Madsen, and, yeah, they go in there, a group of prisoners, and see what happens, you know, see if they can get out, and, yeah, that's the plot of this belter. Okay, so what are my thoughts on Arena Wars? Well, I don't think you need to be a mind reader or a fortune teller to get the vibe from me that this is pretty garbage, because yes, it is pretty garbage. Yes, it is a bargain basement rip-off of Running Man. And yes, it is pretty terrible in every way. Yeah, I mean, there's just so. Sometimes I can watch one of these type of films, and they do fall into the category. Sometimes they're so bad it's good. You know, they're very self-aware, very tongue-in-cheek, very cheesy, and you can have a bit of fun with a film like that. I can't stand films like this that actually try and take themselves quite seriously here. You can't take this film seriously because it is just so bad in so many different areas. The writing is terrible. The dialogue is beyond belief. The acting is pretty terrible from everybody. And the people where it shouldn't be terrible, the like of Michael Madsen and what have you, it's terrible from them. I mean, why would you choose Michael Madsen to host your game show Arena Wars? He clearly doesn't want to be there. There's no energy or enthusiasm in his performance, and that's not the type of role he's known for. And his co-host is worse. Eric Roberts is in the film for about 5 minutes. Forget about Eric Roberts. It's just a name to put on the poster. But, you know, a bit of shocking news for you people that make these films. Michael Madsen and Eric Roberts aren't going to sell these movies. 9 times out of 10 people will look at the poster and see it stars Michael Madsen and Eric Roberts and think, well, that's going to be terrible, because they've not made anything of worth for many, many years. And then we've got here, I mean, there's so many things. For example, you've got a character who's the hero of your film. His name is Luke Bender. Come on, people. And then at the beginning of the film, you see him going up to the parole board. He has served 10 years of a 200-year sentence, and he's up in front of the parole board. I'd be asking questions about the legal system in the future. There is no structure to this game show. It just seems that they just keep wheeling contestants in. You know, it starts off with a group of prisoners, and then they're thrown into the game show, and then they just wheel some more in whenever they want to. There is no rules and no structure to this game show. And the film makes hilarious, and I do mean hilarious, attempts for you to get some kind of sympathy with the majority of these prisoners, because they'll be sat around talking to each other, and it's the film's attempt to flesh out the characters, but the dialogue has been written, I think, by a toddler. It is totally unbelievably terrible dialogue, so therefore it just falls into comedy. That's ridiculous. These are criminals. Most of them are in there for multiple murders. I would prefer to see them getting chopped up. The killers in the arenas are all like geared up with helmets and armor and chainsaws and knives and stuff like that. But some of them look like they wouldn't be able to take down a gang of toddlers in a school playing yard. I don't know what they were thinking. If they'd have really genuinely put some menacing looking killers in these arenas, it might have had a bit more of a desired effect. But it literally looks like you and I, could take them down and not break a sweat. Really terrible stuff. And there's like they've got the Running Man thing here, where they've got, rather than a thing around the neck, they've got something in the head. But there doesn't seem to be any rules why that goes off, because you've got people in this game, the prisoners, breaking the rules left, right, and centre, and nobody presses the button and blows the head off. But some of the others, it blows their heads off for whatever reason. Another pointless thing. And then there's people who have backstage to kind of do their bidding for them, that they kind of give them a shot, which kind of makes them behave the way they want to behave. And they trust, I'm not kidding, they trust these people to give themselves their own shots. And then the surprise later on in the film when one of them hasn't done that and turns against them. So yeah, this is the worst rip-off I think I've ever seen of The Running Man. If I'd have seen this in 2024, this would have easily made my top 10 worst films of the year. Appalling film in pretty much every way. Very little to recommend other than watching it with your mates with a few pizzas and beers and having a right laugh at it. Because yeah, it's not even good in an ironic way, this one, unfortunately. Really terrible film. So yeah, let me know, guys, if you've seen the film, what your thoughts are on it, and I will of course be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very soon.